Welcome to Valhalla, my name is Alpha, and I really like computers. Turns out being given a screen at the age of 3 has its benefits. Ever since around March or so, I've been documenting myself building the PC that I've been using for my streams so far, which you've been watching because you're subscribed, right? That's not my bit to make, that was completely stolen. But regardless, I'm posting this video half for a portfolio and half because I actually had fun doing it and want to share that fun with the world, along with sharing my experience and using it as a sort of tutorial in case you want to build your own PC. Before we begin, I do want to emphasize that I am a single creator, I don't have a team behind me, and I don't make money off of these videos yet. But I do have a Ko-Fi which you can find in the description, so you can commission some art from me, or you can just tip me if you like what you see on this channel. I've also got a membership page where you can pay a small fee every month to get some behind the scenes on what I do as an artist. You can get your name mentioned in future videos, and you'll even have access to all of the raw files I used for the song covers that have made this channel to where it is today, along with all future files as well. Gold and Diamond tier members also get really big discounts for whatever commission they ask from me. So if you can, feel free to send something my way. It helps out a ton and it keeps this channel floating. So without further ado, let's get into what actually happened. And I hope you enjoyed the result of 4 hours of total footage. God, I didn't think I recorded that much. We start with the Kolink KLA003.
This one's a big boy.
Indeed it is, younger me. Though actually what I thought was big is actually very standard for an ATX case. I still love it though, as it has a very sleek black office design, a 5 1/4 inch bay which we'll be using for reasons you'll see, and of course the standard stuff that any case... Dude, what are you doing?
Can I just say how satisfying this sound is to me?
That's nice, dear. Anyway, our next piece in this set is the AMD Ryzen 5 5600, which, according to my sources, is one of, if not the best CPU for a budget AM4 build, sporting 6 cores, 12 threads, and a performance clock of 3.6 GHz. Our final piece is the MSI B550 motherboard. It may only have enough space for one SSD, but that's not going to be an issue. You'll see why. Any words you want to say past me?
Genuinely, I've researched a lot on all the parts that I had to get here, but I still didn't expect the boxes to be this big. I'm gonna be real, I didn't. It's so big, man. It's like I could wear this box as a mask. That's big. Let's open this up, shall we?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so I cannot stress this enough. This screwdriver is all I have for like this whole job. Like, this screwdriver is it. I've got nothing else. Everything else that I could be using is too rusted or too broken or just not the right size. So here we go. Actually, first, I can't even be using this first, actually, because we've got to put the CPU on the motherboard. Now, as of recording this, I do not have any other PC parts. Just this case, the Ryzen 5, and this B550 motherboard. That's all I've got. By the time you see the video, I will likely have other pieces. In fact, I'll be done. Not even just likely, I'll just be done. Wait, there was something else in that box. But yeah, until then, I'm going to have to just keep this video in a backlog for a while. Because I have nothing. I've got no RAM, I've got no store. Actually, I do have storage, hold on. I've got a couple hard drives I pulled out of some old laptops that my family has. This one is from a Chromebook. Got a second one that's also from a Chromebook. And then I've got this one from a Lenovo. I don't know the exact models of any of these three. I just know the brands. I can probably guesstimate the year they were made in, but that's about it. I need to be really careful not to slam that again, because even the smallest of bends and cracks in this motherboard will ruin the whole thing. So I'm being really careful here. Maybe more experienced people will be like, oh, you don't have to be as careful as you're being, but I'm going to be this careful because this is my first time ever properly building a PC of any kind. So I'm gonna damn well be careful about it. All right. Now, I need to make sure I keep my lap very steady here. Otherwise, all of this is gonna fall down and break. And that's not going to be too amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the understatement of the century.
All right. That should be the heatsink, I believe. Instruction manual. I can hear something else. Is that just the foam? Yeah, it's just protective foam. The thermal paste comes included, right? Thermal paste is non-toxic, right? It's fine, it's fine. No woes are to be had today. Oh, right, pin indicators, hold on. Hang on. I remember this. The pin indicators will like, oh, if there's like an arrow in the corner or something. There's no arrow in the corner. Oh no, wait, there's the arrow. Found it! So I'm going to put this to the side real quick. I'm working on 7 different things at once in this small workstation, I know. But you know, I like the challenge. I like the challenge of working on PCs and doing all this intricate work. Is it supposed to fit on top, or is it supposed to come from the inside?
It's supposed to come in from the inside, dude.
The correct answer was it's supposed to come up from on top.
He'll figure it out sooner or later.
I got it. Yeah, I'm weirdly proud of myself for this. I'm weirdly proud of myself for like managing to get this stuff. Whoa, that bump didn't sound like it was supposed to happen. Uh-oh. Oh, I noticed something. Oh, snap it back out. I'm gonna double check the manual. So it's supposed to, it is supposed to come in from the inside. Okay. So then the question is, how? It's like, it's in there, but it's not in there. And it's this damn bottom bit that's kind of blockading. I can't push it up. Not without feeling like I'm breaking it at least. So, for now, I'm going to roughly say that's done. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Now it's done. As you can see, right there. And now that is for sure not coming out. That fucking thing? That tiny ass thing is the... Wow, okay. At least it lines up. I'm gonna be very careful with this. The way any CPU should work is that it kind of just sets into place. Much like that. It's like Lego bricks. If it costed half your life savings. So just Lego bricks.
now we add this goes where? Okay, so it can't be like this with the AMD logo to the side here, because then these screws don't line up with these brackets here. Should they even line up? I'm second guessing everything I'm doing, dude. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not looking it up. I'm not looking up a tutorial. Screw it. Come on, MSI, don't fail me now. Like, they're evenly spaced and everything. It feels like this should be it. Okay, fine, frick it. There is a QR code in this manual. I'm gonna scan it just to make sure, because there are a lot of 4-pin sockets on this that this can go into. It's not saying which socket, and it's kind of pissing me off. I found it. It was the one labeled CPU Fan 1.
How the hell did you miss that one, boy genius?
Look, I don't know, man. It feels like it should have been obvious.
It was, and you still f***ed it!
But hey, it's done. I got it. But overall, this is coming along nicely. Look at it. Look at it. I successfully built this, partially. I mean, it's not like, it's nowhere near done. I can say that. Let's get to placing it in the case, which unfortunately, due to my very restricted camera angles and lack of a GoPro, you're not going to be seeing much of this part. Now, let's see. Where's the third of my 3 manuals? Because Lord knows this shit is just looking through manuals over and over. And standoffs accordingly. Insert your motherboard I/O plate. No, wait. That's the I/O plate. We already did that. This is the I/O plate. I almost forgot this was called the I/O plate. Keeping myself vigilant. I actually got really scared for a second, thinking that I didn't have an I/O plate at all, and all of this recording was about to be for nothing, but what do you know, I'm not that dumb. He says, as he was about to read the manual upside down, use the provided motherboard screws to attach your motherboard to the chassis. I've got the motherboard screws here, and I can't unscrew them. Oh, wait. You know how I said earlier, this screwdriver is all I have for, like, this whole job? So I might have... You see, I come from a proud line of techsperts and repairmen. Both of those are a lie, but I do have a toolbox regardless. I'd be shocked if anyone didn't have a toolbox, to be honest. Like, if I came to your house and you genuinely told me you don't have a toolbox, I'm gonna be like, what, you go to a mechanic when your breaks? You disgust me. I just mean to say that, like, it is a mild necessity for everyone's best interests that household toolboxes are commonplace. That should be small enough, I think. Oh my god, it's actually perfect size. Oh no, wait, that's for tightening it. There we go. I loosened it enough. That way I can just use my hand for the rest of it. I also don't want to lose these screws, by the way. I'm gonna put those in the motherboard box. Alright, we're good. I've
properly unscrewed all of the things. Now we place the motherboard carefully. I'm hearing scrapes and scratches and I'm seeing where it's happening. And I'm not liking this one bit. However, I literally can't fit this in any other way unless, hear me out on this one. I know I put a lot of effort into it earlier, but I'm gonna have to take off that IO plate. It's blocking the way a bit. I'm sorry. Like I thought, oh okay, this should probably be one of the first things I do before putting in the motherboard, right? No, not at all. Because this motherboard is surprisingly huge. Oh, right. I also found another way of doing it that didn't require moving the IO plate to begin with. Well, guess who's got to do that again? This is... What do you mean this is a 3-pin? This is the case fan. 3-pin. I'm going to shit myself. Okay. IO plate is back in business. So, this stock fan situation, is it okay for me to just put the 3-pin on one of the 4 pins and just leave 1 pin out? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it is, because clearly it's manufactured for it to permit that. No, I can see it. Okay, hold on. I can... There we go. Yeah, okay. It's manufactured for it. I had really no reason to stress. And then I've got all these other stock cables kept together with this little zip tie here, along with a lot of spare screws in this bag, which I will be getting to, but quickly, let's get all these cables out the way. Now that I think about it, actually, do you think I should probably like screw down the motherboard first? So USB, HD audio, HD LED, a reset button, reset switch, power LED minus, HD. This joint one. PC building so confusing it got me speaking Latin. Alright, a bit of time has passed. I figured it out. Look at this. She's got life to her. Okay, well not yet. Not yet. But she's gonna. She's gonna. The moment I get a power supply in this, the moment I finalize all these connections, get my GPU in there, get my RAM sticks, my storage, the moment I get all the proper stuff ready, she's gonna have life. These fans are gonna be spinning, and it's gonna be so beautiful. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not good at cable management typically. Oh right, fuck! I don't even know where the cables are supposed to go. Motherfuck. Alright. Took a while. I actually don't know how long it's taken. I haven't been counting the minutes or the hours. I just know it's been a while. But I'm finally done. You know, I've got semi-decent cable management back here. You know, there's not a lot of cables, so it's kind of hard to f it up, I guess. Look at this! This was empty before. There was nothing in here. Is it big? Is it grandiose? Does it even turn on? No. But the cables are right. I've got all the cables down here, which was annoying because of this damn 3.5-inch hard drive bay right down here. But it should be all good. And I've also got the IO port back here, full of all the necessaries. You know, it's finally can do something. And now all that's left to do for now is close it back up and wait about another month before I can get any of the other parts, because that is about as long as it will take me to save up and stuff. So much. It's so much. It's all... Oh my god. And that's not even all of it. Like, you've got my left side as well. It's just... It's all... Oh my god. There's so much everywhere.
Welcome to day 2, where our only part today is the MSI Mag A750BN. Trust me, it's still going to take a while anyway. That's why this is its own day.
Yes, this has been going on for long enough for me to have changed my hair. But actually, the thing is, it hasn't gone on for that long. It's only been about 2 weeks since the last part that I recorded. And now, we've got 2 new pieces. I'm still waiting on the RAM sticks, but for now, we've got the power supply, and we've got the hard drive in here, which I already showed you by this point in the video. I've learned a fair bit more since the last part that we recorded, and turns out none of what I did to the motherboard in that last part was actually dangerous in any way. So, yippee! But now, thankfully, I don't have to worry about that anyway, because that's already set and done. And now the only necessary part to this build left is the RAM sticks, which I should get within about a week's time from recording this. However, because there's always some issue, right? That's not the last part I have listed for this setup. I've got a couple cables that I need to buy as well to connect this monitor to this PC, because funnily enough, I only have VGA cables. This motherboard only takes DVI-D or HDMI, which is so fun. But yeah, I am aware of how much cable management is going to go into the power supply, so I didn't want to just leave the power supply as a footnote like I did with the storage drive. Alright, so I assume it's this side up. The side with the fan, that goes like up towards the top. Actually, that wouldn't make sense, would it? That's probably how it works. There's probably a manual here somewhere. Hold on. Do not eat. Well, they can't tell me what to do. Got some screws, and that's it. Surprisingly enough, there is no manual in this, which means I'm just going to have to guess. I'll probably take it. I just,
Nobody tell him it's the wrong side. He'll figure it out eventually.
Fit it in there. Just gotta kind of... I'm so sorry. This probably looks like... This is probably going to count as software gore for a lot of you, and I'm so sorry about that. Sadly, I do not care. That looks like it works. But at the same time, the whole purpose of that top fan is airflow, right? So it wouldn't make much sense for the fan to be against the case, right? It would need to be towards everything else. Is there really no indicator of like, oh, it's this way up or something? Like, no? No, that's just it? Okay, well, actually, the text on the side would be a good indicator, I think. See, that kind of placement makes more sense. I don't know, maybe it's just me. If the text is the right way up, I'm going to assume that that's just how it's meant to go. I'll do cable management in a second. I just want to, obviously make sure that this thing is secure first, because right now it is the opposite of that. You gotta line it up with these screws, holes like here, there, and then... Oh wait, so actually if it's lining up correctly, that means this is the right way. See, who needs tutorials? Just learn by observation. It's not that hard. Alright, I gotta get up to grab my fucking screwdriver. Got it. There they are. I have abysmal object permanence. I just got up to grab a screwdriver. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, where did the bag of PSU screws go? Where do you think? They're under your ass!
Now, much like when I was screwing in the motherboard, you're not going to be able to see a whole bunch. Simply because, I need to see more. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and give you a good experience during this video, because, you know, I can do commentary. I'm decent at that. Specifically decent, not any good or great. I'm just decent. I'm amateur. What I do want to do though, doo-doo. What? Man, I make myself laugh with my own dumbass jokes. Okay, the PSU is gonna be a tiny bit slanted, just a mild bit, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna fix that. If you have enough confidence in a screwdriver, you can achieve great things. A quote from NGTF2. I love PC building. It's so fun. Like, these are necessary skills you should have as an adult, I think. Not PC building specifically, just the ability to put stuff together and not have it break on you. You know, like, that is a decently necessary skill that most adults should have, I think. What is my reasoning for that? Lego bricks. Those little toys where you have the shapes and you put them into the shape-sized holes. These are enrichment toys for children, and they exist for a reason. They help develop necessary skills early on in life. Skills like being able to see where something fits, and being able to see where something shouldn't fit, and knowing how to connect things together for a strong, long-lasting build. And so there you have it. This PC build just rose like another, I want to say, 4 pounds in weight. It's not that heavy. Genuinely, it's not. Like, I could carry this on my shoulder and go to a friend's LAN party. It's not that heavy. Ooh. Maybe a bit unbalanced, but not heavy. Oh, right. I almost forgot I need to do cable management. I almost actually forgot. Yeah, the shocker. You can't just screw in a power supply and then suddenly it connects to everything else in the PC. Who would have thought? Man, those fans are going, huh? It's doing nothing, mind you. The only thing it has open at the moment is Opera GX. And those fans are blaring. First thing I want to do, just to get it out of the way, where is the correct plug for the hard drive? Which one of these is it? Oh, it's that one. Found it. So I'm gonna pull that out, and then, yeah, that should be the right connector, I think. Carefully. There we go. Clicks right in. Good to know that my PC could hypothetically handle 2 internal hard drives. I'm not going to ever need that many. I barely need 1 terabyte of storage as is, and I plan on adding 2. But you know, it's nice to know that the option is there.
for a 3rd terabyte. Let's open this side up so that we can access the back. It feels like I'm snapping it off every time. I'm going to be honest. Like, just every time it feels like I'm breaking it to some degree. But the truth is, no, it's made like that.
So I've got 2 cables out of this power supply that are dedicated to SATA ports for the hard drives. And then these 2 cables have 4 ports each. I'm only ever going to need 1, but you know, the options are there. It's nice to have options. You can barely see my face, like, ever. I'm going to be working in this thing for so long, you're hardly ever going to see my face, but like... Hello? Hi. Oh shit, what am I going to do about the spare cable, actually? Because that spare cable is only used for SATA ports, and I only need the 1. That's gonna be annoying. Suddenly I'm realizing that cable management might not be as much of a dream as I first expected, and might actually be a bit hellish. Another thing for the... Wait, why is this like a closed loop system? The hell? Hold on. What the... What? It doesn't really... There's so many cables! Why the f are there so many cables? These cables are completely entangled within one another, and I can't untangle them, and that's gonna piss me off for the rest of this video. Feed you, it's pretty tight, through here. That's what she said. I'm 19 years old. I just made a "that's what she said" joke. You're never too old for those. Never. You know, I like to believe that I was doing good. I like to believe I was doing good with the cable management. And then I got the PSU. And stuff started going off the rails. Hold on. Got an idea. Things most experienced PC builders never want to hear from a newbie. Hold on, I've got an idea. Because that either means you're about to blow up the entire station, or you're about to break something. Lord knows what, but it's gonna be something. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's all that I can plug in without looking stuff up. So I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm gonna start looking stuff up. I figured it out. Turns out over half the connections that were actually on this power supply are completely useless to me. And unfortunately, it's non-modular, which means... Kill me! Yeah, I turned on the camera again before I actually organized all of this, just so that you can watch me suffer while I organize it. Yeah, as it stands, I cannot fit all of these cables just into the back like that. I've got to do all this weird ass shit. That's what I get for trying to go for a budget build, you know? That's just how I have to deal with it. You know, I got this case for like maybe 30 bucks. And now I'm paying the price by not having any extra storage in the back for spare cables. I'm going to get a modular PSU next. The moment I can afford it. That's going to be the first thing I upgrade. I'm going to upgrade to a modular. And it's going to look all neat and tidy. You know, minus the zip ties because I don't have any of those. And no, I'm not going to just buy zip ties. Zip ties isn't one of those things you just buy. It's like Tupperware. It's one of those things you just find in your house suddenly, somehow. Whether it's via a gift from a neighboring family with too much Tupperware, or by it just spawning in for no reason, with no prior explanation. It just kind of appears. That's how you get Tupperware. If everything goes well, I should have this PC up and running by mid-May. Roughly that, yeah, mid-May. That's the plan. So yeah, I know I've overdone this transition by this point, but allow me this one more. On to day 3.
And day 3, here we are, as we now finally have the RAM sticks that we've been talking about. I don't know why we're considering this a whole other day, but I guess that's just what we're doing now. We also have a couple spare stuff, which you won't be seeing here, but it's nice to tell you at least that we have it.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Skinny Penis. It's time for day numero 3. Show me where we left off. Oh, right. I really do hate all these cables. I genuinely hate it all. But yeah, we've got the RAM sticks, finally. And this is the last necessary component to this PC. So, I'm gonna be real. Without the graphics card already, this is about to be a major improvement compared to my current PC. But on that note, I feel like it should be stated, what am I planning on doing with my current PC? You know, once that becomes fully obsolete and I only start using this one, you know? What am I going to do with that? And the answer is genuinely pretty simple. I'm definitely not throwing it away, and I've tried selling it, but I've tried giving it away to some friends, but genuinely all of them either don't want it, or hear the specs and then they don't want it, or they aren't allowed to take it because of parents. Don't question me how that last one works. That's just... So instead, I've come up with a much more reasonable solution. I'm going to turn it into a storage server. I don't know how to do that yet, but that's why we've got Google, that's why we've got YouTube, right? Honestly, I really love how sleek it looks, and it does kind of match the look of the rest of the build. Is that good?
I didn't hear a click.
Yeah, that's not budging. Okay.
He'll recognize it eventually.
I'm just making sure I put it in the right way. I mean, I don't think there is a wrong way to put it, but I mean, you've got a little indent, which is like slightly off center, so I have to assume there's a wrong way to put it. I did actually try powering it on after day 2, after I was done recording, to see if it could at least make the fans start going. I knew already that without RAM sticks, you know, nothing was gonna happen, but I did at least want to see if it could run. And it did, but you know, there was the LED obviously saying, hey, check your RAM, which, you know, couldn't really do because there was none. Did I put this in the right way? No, I did not. So yeah, here I am now, actually putting in the RAM. That's nice and locked into place. And there we go. Now all that's left is to power this on, put Windows 10, where is it? Put Windows 10 on this USB stick, and then I can just start using this. You know, I'll be honest, when I first started saving up for this PC, I did not expect to already be this far done. It is the 1st of May. I expected to have all of these components by June. I didn't expect to get it all so fast. Hell, not even June, actually, August. And I expected to be done by December. But with how fast I'm getting everything right now, you know, budget isn't as tight, and I might actually finish this by July instead, which honestly is really cool. So, yeah.
Hard drive.
Fans. Oh yeah, and bubble wrap. Can't forget the bubble wrap. Love that. We're doing ASMR now. Yeah, we're doing ASMR now. beautiful. Genuinely hard to believe that such a tiny thing has a terabyte of storage, right? But then again, micro SDs exist. There are micro SDs with like over 2 terabytes of storage. Static sensitive devices, not to be handled by unauthorized personnel. Well, good thing I'm authorized. Authorized by me, myself, and I. Okay. M.2 slot right there, just gotta... Perfect. Now that's gonna be like that, but don't worry, we've got screws to fix this. I think. I should have the screws in here somewhere. Let me double check here. Oh, the motherboard screws are off. Oh, okay, great. So I've got the screws. Yeah, they're somewhere in here. I found the screw, but I really don't have any good way of actually showing you me screwing it in, which I guess isn't that big of a deal. Also, I think now is a good time to say that I'm really thankful you guys watch my content, despite how stupid it can be sometimes. And I know that the majority of my content is just songs and stuff, but the fact that you guys watch my content to begin with is already really nice to me, and I appreciate it a lot. Off camera, I did some stuff. I got a Ryzen 5 5600 GT instead of the 5600 that I showed before, simply so that I could do integrated graphics and not have to wait for the graphics card. So now I'm an extra like 100 pounds in the hole. But yeah, I did that off screen. I did all the Windows setup off screen. And yeah, now the only necessary part that's left is the graphics card. And that will take me a while of saving up now that I bought the secondary CPU and the SSD. And the fans, which are coming along actually. Point is, all of this will be taking a fair bit more time than I expected, and in the middle of all of this, there's a good chance that I will be uploading another song cover before this one. At least 1 or 2, just so that you guys know I'm alive. So yeah, that's gonna happen maybe, I'm not sure. If it did happen, I'll put up however many I uploaded here. And yeah, there we go. The disc is formatted. You can see it right there. All 950. God damn it, I got scammed again. But yeah, there it is. It is shockingly easy to actually make new drives recognizable in Windows. Now all that's left to do is allocate the volume, select all the storage, change the letter. Yeah, now just to rename it, and then you're good. And there you go. That's it for the day. Don't worry about Seagate. That is not a virus that I accidentally installed. That is just the USB drive that's here, which was containing all of my stuff from the old PC so that I could transfer it easier. Don't worry about that too much. But yeah, that's done. I didn't expect the fans to come so soon, and they arrived literally on the same day as the SSD, so, you know, I've been re-downloading my entire Steam library. That's been taking a long-ass time, and now these are here, and I can't exactly unplug this to do all of that stuff, which means we're going to do a power-on repair. Okay, so mainly because I'll be focusing on such an obviously difficult task, I'm probably not going to be talking much for this segment, except singing some dumb stuff on loop. So I'll probably be skipping through most of this, or just speeding through it. I'm crazy, you know I'm calling you. I really got nothing better to do. Dial up your minute on the morning, when 2 minutes later I'll be doing it again. You might think that I'm moving along, but you would be wrong. I'm gonna let that all, and so I'll continue to call. I'm crazy, we're only not calling you.
Come on. Kiss. I'm 19 years old. I honestly, can you tell I don't care about cable management anymore? Like, I cared. I used to care. There was a point in time where I gave a shit about cable management. Where's my screwdriver? I'm crazy when I'm calling you. I really got nothing better to do. Are these fans necessary? No. Are they integral? Absolutely. Son of a... I'm gonna kill you. Be useful! I hate it when my screws are being bratty. Alright, note to self. Put the fans before the RAM. Everyone knows that F comes before R in the alphabet, which is why you should put your fans before the RAM. Oh yeah, will I get copywritten for singing these songs? Is that a thing that will happen? Hopefully not. I know my singing voice is just so beautiful that, you know, it could almost be considered the real song, you know? Oh no, it is for sure somewhere in there. Actually having to open up the back again. It's gonna be such a hassle to close it up because of my really poor cable management that I didn't want to show you guys. Understandably. There's the screw. I was about to get so pissed if I accidentally dropped that into the back again. Man, I hope I have enough storage space for all of this footage. You know, thinking back to day 3, I wonder how many people are actually going to understand the joke I made. How many people are going to remember that Vine?
Hey, it's your boy, Skinny Penis.
If you do remember that, though, leave a like on this video, I guess. And if you don't remember that, also leave a like on this video. Just please like my content, I'm begging you here. I have 500 subs to my name and not a single one of them actually give a shit. I'm joking, you're all lovely people, all of you, every last one of you, even the ones that don't subscribe, even the ones that don't like or comment, even the ones that just view my content. Y'all are all amazing. I don't know you, and I probably never will. But you're amazing. I'm willing to bet. How much am I willing to bet on that? Shillings. Okay, that's the first fan securely in position, and it only took me 18 minutes. And okay, the screw holes for the second fan are behind. They're behind the HDD. Measure twice, cut once, as they say, and bestie, I don't even measure once. Look, the screw holes still aren't in the best positions, but I can at least see the screw holes now. So position doesn't matter as long as they can get screwed. Wait, no, hold on. Oh, crazy, we're the one calling you. I really got nothing better to do. That'll be my mind. I wanna do this and I'll be doing it again. You might think that I'm wrong, but you would be wrong. I got no life at all, and so I'll continue to call. I'm a crazy weirdo and I'm calling you. I've been on my knees for the majority of this, so you can imagine it's really starting to hurt. There we go. Finally, that's done.
Now to just reinstall the RAM. PC building is very easy, believe it or not. You just gotta feel like you're breaking. But actually, you're doing it more correctly than you think you are. That's the build for today. I really thought I was going to be done after just the SSD, but you know what? You get extra content in this section. Look at how that looks. It's beautiful.
Disk drive.
Hi there, changed my hair again. Before we get into this part, I just want to say how insulting it is that this package looks the way it does. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen bent doors, I've seen flat screen TVs that are broken out of the gate. But I never thought it would actually happen to me here in the UK. In America, that's expected. But in the UK, it's a little less likely. So, you know, I'm shocked. But what matters is that, well, one, we've got more bubble wrap, and two, it came safely. So, I guess I have no reason to complain. Pop that out. Ammo. There it is. Oh, come on. I guess with that much bubble wrap, it explains why they were so careless with it. Now I find the proper cable, pull that up and out, and just slide that in. I am putting this in the right way, aren't I? Want to hear a joke? There we go. Now let's see. What did that just hit? The cables are a bit messy, they're a bit loose, I won't lie. I'm not proud of it. But if it works, it works. Yeah, I have no reason to complain. I'm gonna need to open the bag. I have a reason to complain. Looks great though. It fits. It fits the aesthetic here. Yeah, I just gotta go through that. You know, there's a good chunk of people out there that wouldn't believe me if I said that PC building is actually a very relaxing activity to me. And they'd believe me even less after seeing this video. There we go. Thankfully still closes up. Please don't keep dropping the screws. Getting flashbacks to the fans. It's been on loop in my head ever since I started recording like 15 minutes ago.
Are you ready? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
There we go. Look at that. I have a new button to spam click. Is the wiring very scuffed? Yes. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely. But it hasn't caused a fire hazard, which means it's a B+.
Barely made it.
Why can't I move my eyes? Why can't I move my mouth? Is this an internal dialogue? I can't see the end of the horizon. Hatsune Miku. Have I been putting off the graphics card for a long ass time? Yes, I have. And I'm going to admit it. Because it's hella expensive. Like, as is expected, the graphics card is the most expensive part of the entire build. So like, obviously I'm going to put that off while I save for it.
The big one.
Now then, dear viewer at home, it is at this point that I feel I should explain that I have mildly f***ed up. I meant to get a 6600 XT to match the CPU a bit better, causing less of a bottleneck. However, when I was actually purchasing this, I didn't properly read the description, and so I only got a 6600. But it's not too big of a deal, because as it stands for me, any GPU is better than none at all. So here it is. So then, let's get this open. Yes, I know I had some Legos on top here. I don't know why I kept putting them on top when I knew I was gonna have to unplug everything and open this up again, but still, this is the last time I will have to open it again, so I don't have the ring light today, so you're just gonna have to make do with this camera angle. Do not open or handle except at a static-free workstation. It's a good thing I'm not at work. Oh, look at this beautiful thing. Genuinely my first time ever holding a GPU in my hands. Look at it. It's so pretty. Let's not waste time, and we'll get it slotted right in where it needs to be. I've noticed a lot when editing my own videos nowadays that I talk very quietly compared to the average YouTuber. So I have to boost the volume of that by a lot every single video. And you know, I don't like putting on that fake loud voice, mostly because, you know, I'm not the only one living in this house, but also because I feel like exaggerating how loud my voice is just to be closer to the YouTubers I admire, I feel like that's doing things for the wrong reasons, you know? So I'd rather put on my average voice, which is a lot more soft-spoken kind of. And then I get loud when I laugh, of course. I get loud when I get, like, jokingly angry with friends over a video game and stuff. But for the most part, when I'm alone, how I'm talking right now is how you'll hear me talk most of the time. I noticed ages before that this part here could also be taken off, but I didn't think that taking it off would be necessary. Lo and behold, though, it might be necessary. There we go. See? Oh, I'll have to reorganize all these wires. Hold on. Now that the GPU is actually in there. Yeah, no, I wasn't hearing any click at all. It's fine though, we've got all the time in the world to figure that out. I actually don't. My time on this earth is decently finite. Well, I noticed that I'm going to have to pop out the third one here. I had preemptively popped out the top two thinking those were the ones that were going to get used. And then turns out I was off by just one. But hey, yet again, that just means more ventilation. I'm hoping eventually it'll just work. Thank you for spreading your manifesto and your philosophies, Todd Howard. Okay, I don't see any more gold. So then I just... Nope, okay. I just got this thing and I'm already causing so much damage to its pins. and then my raccoon fingers never go to waste, and boom. Now it's safely secured. Yeah, the 24-pin cable was blocking it the whole time. Power supply connectors for GPUs are exactly why I don't think I will ever upgrade from this. I do need to do a new round of cable management now, so I'm just going to, yeah, do that. I'll do it all off camera, I don't want to bore you. But, yeah. We're done. More or less. Editor me, do you mind just cutting to when the cables are all, like, actually clean and stuff? Thank you.
And so, there you have it. You're now caught up to speed with everything that has made this computer into what it is now. I honestly don't know what to say, except I'm so glad I could get this far in my life, because only about a year ago I never thought I would. Sure, despite these kinds of PCs being the standard for all of the big YouTubers, you actually have no idea how much it means to me that I was able to not only get this kind of build with these kinds of specs, but also build it myself. This is a humongous achievement for me, and I'm happy to share that achievement with all of you. So, any closing thoughts I might have? None really, just maybe one or two things I'd like to say. Believe it or not, actually assembling the parts for your PC is not as hard as it looks. It's actually the easiest part of making your own PC. The hardest part comes with the software. You have no idea how annoying it was that I had to buy a product key for Windows 10, format everything, and manually transfer all of my files from one PC to another. And let's not even get started on all of the bugs I encountered between finishing the recording and right now when I'm making this video. With webcam drivers being out of date, graphics drivers having to be updated between the integrated GPU of the CPU and then actually getting the graphics card, the point is it was a lot on the software side. A lot that I would love to actually explain to you all in another video if you want it. And I don't want to sound like a broken record like any other YouTuber, so all I'm going to say is if you do actually want that, you know what to do. One other thing I'd like to say before we end it off is that despite what every single tech YouTuber says, it's not actually that necessary for your GPU and CPU to match up. Yes, bottlenecking is a massive problem, don't get me wrong, but assuming you don't actually care for the extra frames that you may or may not be losing because of a mild bottleneck, there's really no reason that it's ever an issue. It doesn't cause any actual hardware damage, so if you have any reason to do it, who cares? I can't afford a good GPU right now, and I don't want a bottleneck. If you can't afford it, nobody cares about what your bottleneck is like. What matters is that you have a good PC first. You can make it better with time. That's one of the joys of having a desktop like this. Being fully modular in its capabilities and fully upgradable to the point where you don't even have to worry about any kind of lag between you and your friends. The only thing you need to worry about is your bank account. And if that's not an issue, the sky's the limit. I don't know about you, dear viewer, but personally, the majority of tech YouTubers I've seen talking about bottleneck this, bottleneck that, they don't really bring up the possibility that people just can't afford it. And I feel like that's very wrong. People do need to bring that up a lot more. The idea that you have to get this graphics card with this CPU is complete bogus. The only thing you need to worry about is doing your research and making sure you get decent parts at the right price. And if you do want to build it yourself, you also need to make sure you have the proper tools to do so. But hey, that's enough from me. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host Alpha, and we'll be seeing you soon.